Hello, Zoe Richards here, and I am business coach with Success Revolution and also the creator of How to Make a Lemonade Life. Now, first off, what is How to Make a Lemonade Life? Loads of people are asking me at the moment, what is a lemonade life? Well, it's really simple. You know how life sends you lemons? Just make lemonade. But nobody ever tells us how we make the lemonade life. Well, lemonade life is all about the things that we do in life to make us more resilient, because let's face it, we all encounter lemons being thrown at us. Do you know, there's some weeks where I feel as though I've just got a shed load of them being thrown at me. Well, it's not nice when it happens, but we do need to become more resilient because let's face it, it's going to happen. Bad things happen in everybody's life. What's different from one person to another is how we handle those bad things. And that's what Lemonade Life was born out of. Now, you see, for me, I actually hit rock bottom. And so it was all about what can I do to bring about change? And I had to bring about change because rock bottom for me was I was actually considering taking my own life. Tough one, isn't it? And that taking my own life didn't happen. First off, I felt like I failed. And then secondly, it was a case of I knew that my daughter would have to live with that stigma, the stigma that her mother had taken her own life. And I couldn't do that to her. So I started to change my life. Small changes that make a big difference. And that is really the ethos behind How to Make a Lemonade Life. It's also what I do in my business coaching as well. I guide people through how to make small changes that make a big difference. And Amber has asked me today to talk to you about how we can squeeze those lemons to make the lemonade and create your own lemonade life with just 3 tips. So we're going to go through 3 things that can actually help you turn things around so that you too can live a lemonade life just like I do. I've got to say, at 52, I'm the happiest, I'm the healthiest, and I am the fittest that I have been in my life. And I loved the compliment I got off someone today. She actually told me I didn't look anything like 52. So yay! It shows you that living a lemonade life works. Right, so let me just start off with something that I have noticed that is happening more and more in society, and I think it does impact on us having a lemonade life. Now, I was a child of the 60s and 70s, and growing up, I was very much aware that there was a glass ceiling. As I got my first job, I think I was 15, a glass collector, I really discovered what that glass ceiling was like. I encountered men who thought it was okay to pinch my bottom. I encountered men who thought it was all right to view me as a sex object. At 15 years old, I was finding out that a lot of the world revolved around men in business. In my first corporate job, I discovered that that glass ceiling is well and truly there. I would find that decisions had been made in the gents' toilets. I don't go in the gents' toilets. I couldn't be part of that decision making. I discovered that decisions had been made when the men had got together to go out for a drink in the pub. I went home to my family, so I wasn't part of those decisions, even though I was on the management team. So I discovered an awful lot around the glass ceiling. Now, through my career, that glass ceiling did seem to get smashed. There are a lot more opportunities for women, and I think over the years as well, there has been a much more feminine way of managing people. There's a much more feminine leadership approach these days. But something's happening. We're creating a stronger, much stronger glass ceiling. You see, I think women are now putting triple glazing into that glass ceiling. Women are doing it for themselves. And I think there are men who are doing it as well. We've got that glass ceiling there. We can kind of tell that we can see through it to what opportunities are ahead of us. But we're not taking those opportunities. And that worries me. Because you see, the things that I observe that are going on to put in this triple glazing to the glass ceiling, it's things like the way that women dress, the way that women wear very high-heeled shoes. In the area I live in, the amount of makeup that women are wearing with really long lashes that they'll wear for work. That's meant to be a night out thing in my view. But women are doing themselves up in the area I live in so that they actually look like they're on a night out. We've also got women who, well, I don't know whether everybody has this term, but for us in the UK, we have the term ladette. Women who start to behave as if they are guys by over-drinking, by swearing, by telling jokes that are probably not really that appropriate for anybody to be telling. Racist, sexist, any otherist you can come up with. We are creating a triple glazed ceiling by the way in which we behave. There's another layer to that as well, and that's the layer of lack of self-belief. So many people these days don't believe that they deserve a good future. They don't believe that they deserve to be able to earn good money. They don't seem to believe that they deserve happiness. That's where we are today. We have got a triple glazed glass ceiling. And with Lemonade Life, I actually want you to help to think about what you can do to turn things around, smash through that glass ceiling and enjoy a lemonade life. And do you know how we do it? Small steps that make a big difference. That's it, small steps that make a big difference. So I'm going to give you 3 small steps that you can do today. Now the first one is we're going to act as if. Now my act as if strategy is this. You've heard the phrase, fake it till you make it. You might have even heard Dr. Amy Cruddy say, fake it till you make it. No, fake it till you become it. And that's, for me, what act as if is about. It's not about fake it till you make it. It's about what's going on here. I'm not interested in persuading other people that there is something that I can do that is special. I'm interested in persuading me, talking to me. So with act as if, it's about what we do with ourselves. Because you see, we've got 2, maybe 3 brains. We definitely have 3 brains, but we've got these 2, maybe 3 brains that battle against each other. We've got the one brain that we always talk about, the brain that's all about immediate reactions. Things that we'll do just like that. We'll make it happen now. We'll react to it and we'll do it. These are our habits. These are the processes that we do that have become a part of us. It's the trophy story we tell. We tell everybody that, oh, well, that's me. That's the way I do things. But, you know, we can change that, and we can change it by act as if. Now, I'm going to explain this with a simple tool, and that's about weight loss, because I think it's the easiest way to describe act as if. Now, how many years ago now? 2, 3 years ago? 3 years ago, I think it is. I was 3 stone happier. So 3 stone, that's 14 pounds in a stone. So 14, 28, 42. So 42 pounds heavier than I am today. I haven't had a diet. I've not gone on any diet at all. I've not used any kind of magic formula or magic pill to make it that I've lost weight. All I've done is act as if. And that is my philosophy, act as if. So what I did was decide that I was 138 pounds. Now, I did get funny looks from people at first when I'd say, yeah, I'm 138 pounds, or in England we would say, I'm 9 stone 12. And they go, you? And they kind of look at, I have to admit, at one point, I'd love it if I was standing up actually, you'd be able to see I'm very slim. But at one point, I looked like I was about 10 months pregnant. Not a good look. And unfortunately, somebody photographed me from above, and boy, did I look like I was way out here. So a lot of my weight I was carrying around my tummy area, and I'd say that I was 9 stone 12, 138 pounds. And people would give me that look of, is she for real? But you know, I didn't care about what they thought, because what was important to me was what was going on for me. What was going on for me was that I was acting as if I was that weight, 138 pounds. So what that required of me was that if somebody is 138 pounds, do you know what happens? They make the decisions and take the actions of somebody who is 138 pounds. As opposed to somebody who is considerably heavier. So I was in that kind of state where, yeah, I'd just sit back, I wouldn't go out and exercise, I'd have the extra piece of cake, I would have huge portions for my meals. And what was happening? I was piling the weight on. Actually, probably my worst fault was 2 things. One was alcohol and the other was chocolate. And I persuaded myself I needed chocolate every day. I persuaded myself that 1 drink here and there, that didn't matter. Except it wasn't really 1 drink here or there. It was 1 drink every night. Then it became 2 drinks every night. That wasn't good. But all of that helps to add on the weight. But you see, once you act as if you are 138 pounds, you go out exercising. You have smaller portions. You say no to the piece of cake. You don't eat chocolate. Now, I've got to say, I don't ban myself. I have nothing banned. If I want a piece of chocolate, I'll have it. There's some chocolate in the fridge. It's sat there for ages now. I haven't eaten it. I don't need to eat it. I've got 3 bottles of champagne and 2 bottles of wine in the kitchen. I've not drunk them because at the moment I don't need to drink them. But I have been out today for a 2.5 mile run. I did go out bouldering, climbing without ropes last night. I was out for a run on Sunday. I was out cycling on Saturday. These are all choices that you make. So with act as if, what I want you to think about is you are going to act as if you are what you want to be. So you fake it until you become it. You pretend with yourself. This brain up here that does the reaction, it starts to give way to the second brain. And the second brain is the one that says, it's time for us to change the patterns of behaviour. And we're going to change those patterns of behaviours. Now, the important thing to remember here is that just like with exercise, our muscles build up quicker than our tendons, so too the reaction brain can go ahead a little bit, but it takes a little bit longer for the second brain to catch up. So you've got to keep the habit of act as if going for a little bit longer than you might expect. Keep it going. They reckon that it's somewhere around about 13 or 14 days of doing a habit will start to make it into a real habit that you don't have to think too much about. And absolutely guaranteed is if you do this for 30 days, then it becomes an established habit. So that's what I want you to do. Find something that you want to be and act as if. Maybe it's you want to be somebody who's more confident. A lot of my friends think that I'm an extrovert. Loads of people, even my husband has said to me, it's all right for you, you're an extrovert. Do you know what? I had to act as if I was an extrovert before I became one. Internally, I am an introvert. I know I am because I process things internally. And that's the true definition of an introvert. An introvert is somebody who processes the stuff inside their head. An extrovert is somebody who processes the stuff externally. I process inside my head. Naturally, I am quite shy. I have to put myself out there. But I acted as if. And that's what I want you to do. Act as if. So it's that you want more confidence. Act as if you are somebody who's confident. If it's that you are a successful businesswoman, act as if you are a successful businesswoman. If it's that you are going to be doing a successful launch of something, act as if you are doing a successful launch. Act as if and you'll turn things around, I promise you. So let's move on to number 2. So this is the second of the 3 things that I want you to do. Small steps, remember, that make a big difference. So that's what we're after, small steps making a big difference. So the second one is actually taking that small steps and looking for small things. So what I want you to do, now we've all heard of having a bucket list. Well, I want you to have a small things list instead of a buckets list. So what you do is you find small things that you can do that will make a big difference for you each day. I'll give you a couple of examples on my list. One of them is that I want to put a smile on somebody's face every day. Now that might be in person, but I don't go out of the house every single day. So if it's not in person, it might be on social media that I want to put a smile on somebody's face. Now, a little known fact about me is that I've done stand-up comedy, but this isn't about that. I'm not about to start doing my comedy routine, which incidentally is all about me being a dreadful mum, but I'm not going to go there. By the way, part of it is that I was the woman who taught my daughter to swear at 2 years old. She overheard me saying something and then repeated it. Not good. But anyway, this is not my comedy routine. This is about, I just want to put a smile on somebody's face. So when I'm at the supermarket, I want the checkout girl to have a smile. When I'm walking down the street, I will smile at somebody. I just believe intently on passing a smile on will make a difference for me and for you. So here you go. I'm passing on a smile to you today. I want you to have a smile on your face and I want you to then pass that on to somebody else. So that's one of the things on my small things list. Another one that I have is that I really, really, really love having my breakfast done my way. So I have my NutriBullet and every morning I make my breakfast my way. It's become a routine that I go into, and the routine is actually part of the small things. So my routine is part of what gets me going in the day. It's what puts a smile on my face. And then sitting down and just drinking my NutriBullet smoothie that I have, my breakfast smoothie, that is part of my small things. So you might not have a routine for breakfast. Maybe that's what you need to do, is to create a routine for breakfast. Another small thing that I do is that I like to get out and get fresh air every single day. It doesn't have to cost money. It can be things that cost nothing at all. So go for a break at your lunchtime and go for a walk for 10 minutes, or go for a run if you're somebody who loves running. But get outside and get fresh air every single day. Now, we used to live by the beach, so my fresh air every day was literally go for a walk on the beach. I live a long way from the beach now. I'm a whole 5 miles away. So I don't go for a walk on the beach every day. But one of my ways that I do add to my small things list, I have this fabulous friend, Rose, and I love meeting her to walk her dog. Every now and again, we go for a walk together, and it's just, it boosts the two of us. We both walk away with big smiles on our faces. That's another of my small things. So what I'd like you to do over the next few days is come up with 5 things that you can put onto your small things list. And every week, see if you can add to your small things list. Now then, different from a bucket list. With a bucket list, you do the thing once. So I don't know if you can see that. So that's my tattoo. And on my bucket list, I had that I was going to get a tattoo done. It's only partway done, by the way. I've still got to get the feather coming off it. And the feather is to remind me to do things with a gentle touch of a feather. But the point behind that, having that done, it's a one-off. Whereas with the small things list, this is a bucket list that is a continual process. You put things on your list that you do to make you happy. You put things on your list that make you have a better day. So that's what I want you to do. So you're just going to put 5 things to start off with, and each week see if you can add another 5. And these are things you're going to keep on revisiting because they make you feel better. Now then, the last thing that we're going to do, we've done act as if, and we've done small things. So remember, it's small things that make a big difference. Now then, the last one is the 10% game. I love playing the 10% game. Now, I'll play this for anything. I'm in business, and as a business coach, I quite often will get people to look at how they look at their pricing. Most people in small businesses start way too cheap. They can't actually survive in business if they carried on charging the amount they charge. So I get people to just add on 10% to their price with each client that they go to. And if the client pays, then they know that they're priced at a reasonable level. The other thing that you do in business is take 10% off your costs. So always look for where you can reduce your costs by 10%. Now in life in general, you can also play the 10% game. So you could switch the TV off 10 minutes earlier than you normally do of an evening and just give yourself 10 minutes private time, quiet time. Now this one's an important one, by the way. It's not just the TV. So you switch off the TV, you switch off the mobile phone, and you switch off the tablet or the computer or whatever. Because all of these items throw out blue light. Blue light stimulates us. So if you're somebody who watches TV till the end of the evening, or is on the computer until the end of the evening, or gets your phone out when you go to bed, you're actually stimulating your brain. So one of the things you can do with the 10% game is say, I'm actually going to switch everything off earlier so that I'm not stimulating my brain quite so long. Now, when I first started this, it was like, I was one of those people, I would watch TV until 10:30, 11 p.m. And then I'd go to bed and I'd be lying there awake for ages. There was no point counting sheep. There were millions of them. So couldn't count the sheep to go to sleep. So I'd started this process of saying, okay, I'm going to switch the TV off 10 minutes earlier. Do you know now I barely switch the TV on? And yet I would have said I was somebody who loved watching TV. I now have to have something specific that I want to watch in order for me to switch the TV on. So that's another way you can use the 10% game. You can use it with your weight. You can use it with exercise. You perhaps come across the Couch to 5K exercise regime. That's built upon the 10% game, really, because what you do is you add a little bit more each time you go out for a run. The 10% game, you can literally apply to anything you want to do, and it will make a difference. So if you're feeling miserable, you can add on 10% of the time of the day where you are going to actually sit up straight and smile. Okay, if there's somebody opposite your desk and you're doing it and you're smiling, they're going to be thinking, she loopy. But seriously, this does work. If you just say to yourself, for 10% of the day, or I'm going to increase my exercise by 10%, I'm going to reduce my food intake by 10%, I'm going to increase my water intake by 10%. Anything you can do that you just do a small change, play the 10% game. And if you are in business, then I recommend that you look at your pricing and see what you can do to add 10% on to your prices, and what can you do to take 10% off your costs. And do you know what happens? You end up so much better off because you've raised your prices and you've lowered your costs. And that money then becomes profit to you. So it's well worth looking at that if you're in business as well. So these three things, to me, are a big part of us being able to smash through that glass ceiling. Stop creating the glass ceiling. We don't need to be people who are creating a triple glazed glass ceiling for ourselves. It's time for us to say, I believe in me. I believe in me, and I can make a difference. I can make a difference in my life, and by making a difference in my life, I can make a difference in everybody else's life that I encounter as well. That's our job in life, is to make our days better. Do you know, I read something yesterday that every day out there, you're going to encounter nice people. And if you don't, that was the hint to you to be nice to people. Were you? And if not, it's time for every one of us to say, today I'm going to pass on a smile. Today I'm going to be nice to somebody else. So the Lemonade Life is all about small steps that make a big difference. And I really hope you will implement those three strategies that I've got for you there. Those three tips really will help you to make your Lemonade Life. I can't wait to hear about how you get on with doing it. I'd love to hear from you. And if you have got any comments to make about it, please, let's hear those comments in Amber's group that tells everybody else about what's going well for you as a result of you implementing those three things. I look forward to seeing you soon. Thanks very much for joining me on this, and I am so pleased that I've been able to share something about Lemonade Life with you. Bye for now.